Good morning. This is Janet Mukhya, education therapist, specialization in mainstreaming children with special need in regular schools. As I had sent you the questionnaire on inclusion, um, let me explain you what is inclusion. Inclusion means आजकल इंक्लूजन हर स्कूल का पॉलिसी है. Inclusion means no child will be denied admission. Every child is welcome in school. कोई स्कूल एडमिशन डिनाई नहीं कर सकता. And they should be in age appropriate regular classes. Age appropriate regular classes मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि बच्चा 13-year-old है and sitting in class 3 or 4. That is not inclusion. And the school will support the child with special need to learn and participate and contribute in all the aspects of life. Support to learn, and the child's role is the child will participate and contribute, means there is a give and take in all aspects of life apart from education. Okay, now my first question was, my child spends dash amount of time with regular student. Dash amount, how much amount does my child spend in school with regular children? The options were all, most and some. All means the child spends all the time with regular school. The child doesn't get any support, and the child is treated as a regular child. And second is most of the time. Yes, most of the time the child, this is the correct option. Most of the time the child is with the regular school children, and where the child cannot cope, those areas the child is been referred to resource room with mental health professionals, and there the child is being given support. It is applicable in the regular classroom. Third was sometime if the child is in contact with the regular children, then what is the child doing most of the time? Okay. Also here I would like to mention one point is where the child gets shadow assistance. Now what happens, the shadow is there to give a push to the child to the regular mainstream school, but what happens here, the child is dependent on the shadow. The child is not one with the regular school. The child and the shadow is cornered. So here the child is not spending proper time, though the child may be in classroom full time, but the child is with shadow teacher. The child is not spending time with other regular students. Interacting, participate and contributing. That is what I said. Okay, my next question was, my child is included in dash model. Educational, social and both. The correct answer here is both. Because many a times it so happens that the child is educationally included, where the child is, one point I did not mention. For mainstreaming children in regular school, the child should have a regular IQ, which I will be sending the IQ distribution, I will be sending in the WhatsApp message. Okay, so here if the child has regular IQ, the child will be educationally included. But what happens if the child has some behavior issues and all, that is not handled by the school. So that also should be managed, because the child is studying properly, but the child is not having any friends. The child is only spending time with the shadow teacher, shadow assistants. And here the correct answer is both. The child should be educationally included, plus socially the child should be participating. That is what is life. Now third question was, my child is included for dash contribution. Now here there are different models like mainstream. Mainstream is the child is giving school board examination. All the examination that the school is that those other children are giving, the child is also giving. That is called mainstreaming. Now partial is the child is studying the same book, but probably not the whole syllabus. And sometimes a child might study the whole syllabus but is not capable to reproduce or give examination for 3 hours. So that is partial, where the child is not fully educationally included. And then third is imitation, where the child is sitting in class, but the child is not listening to what the teacher is saying to others. The child has shadow assistants probably. The child is attending to the shadow assistant. This is imitation. There is teaching learning happening, but it is not happening as a regular model. So this is imitation. Here the correct option is mainstream, whether your child is studying plus giving examinations with all the education board facilities. So now it's up to you to decide whether your child is properly included, and if no, then what is the reason? Is it education that the child cannot cope with? Is it the behavior of the child that the child cannot cope with? And you direct your child appropriately. Now what I would like to say is every child should have at least one mental health professional in the child's life with experience who will plan for the child. And execution can be done by anybody, but the planning is very important. Correct planning is very important. So you should have one mentor, mental health mentor, who will tell what the child should do, what the child is capable of, potential of doing, and what is wastage of time. Like, work on the strengths of the child. Yes, do take in account the weaknesses. We can work on the weaknesses, but focus on the strengths of the child. What the child can do, not what the child cannot do. Okay, thank you.